welcome back to Smashing Heads Podcast. This is our recap for Spies, Lies, and Allies. It's episode 16? Is it 16 or is it 15? Do you guys know?
16.
Yeah. I didn't look at the top of my notes because we've watched All Stars since then. So my name's Zach. You heard my wife Hannah.
Hey.
You didn't hear my best friend Jake.
Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? I have not done so well tonight.
That's true.
It's been an interesting little...
It's the day after Thanksgiving.
It's the day after Thanksgiving.
Also known as Black Friday.
Just a quick little aside here. My parents asked for me to watch their dogs. They went to the beach, actually, for Thanksgiving. They left on Monday, so they dropped their dogs off on Monday. I like these dogs. They feed them well. One dog in particular has gained 20 plus pounds. He's got to be knocking on 100 or more. He's just a fatso. Great dogs, though. One's named Fisher. That's the big one. River's the little one. So,
which is opposite, because in real life, rivers are bigger than fishes.
That's true. So,
or fishers.
Not a lot of thought went into the naming of these dogs. Either way, what I would do is I would, just to remove myself from the chaos of 3 dogs and trying to take care of, like feed them and all this stuff, I just simply set their food and water bowls outside, filled them up with food and water, and then just let them out in the backyard. I have a fenced-in backyard, and I just would leave them out there anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour at a time just so they could eat and use the bathroom. Because the first 2 nights, the little dog actually peed and pooped both nights in my house.
Well, I told him to.
Nice.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's an obedient dog.
Yeah, well, so everything had been fine. This would happen multiple times a day where I would let them out and back in. The little dog, anytime I would leave the house, I would put him in his crate. He didn't like that. So this morning, when I went to bring him back in, he actually wouldn't come to me initially because he'd figured it out. If I come in, I'm going in the crate. Mm-hmm. So I had to get down on all fours and beg him to come to me. Finally did. Got him in his crate. Get home. I shower and stuff. I had let them out. They had been out for maybe 30 minutes, and I was about to leave to come here to podcast. And I opened up the back door to let them in. The 2 big ones, my dog included, run in. Little one's nowhere to be seen. And I'm just thinking, oh man, and it's dark outside, and he's small, and he's a little black dog, so there's just no way I'm going to see him because it's pitch black outside. And he just, about 15, 20 minutes of just calling him in my backyard, not hearing him moving around. Because I checked my fence for cracks and holes and stuff. So I knew, that was good. And so I called my mom, and I'm like, because I know they got a tracker on him. And I'm like, hey, I can't find this dog. She starts breaking down in tears, which, that makes me feel awful. I spent the next 2 hours literally running around my neighborhood. I went on a jog, for real, because he would be tracked to this one spot, so I ran there and be tracked to this spot. He's in my neighborhood. And long story short, didn't find him. He hadn't moved from this one spot, according to her tracker, for an hour and a half or so.
And it shows him in the center of a house.
So I'm thinking he's in the house. My question is, why have these people not called to say, hey, we found your dog? Because at the time, Han, you throw out the theory that, well, it's late, but at the time...
It was 2 hours ago.
It was 8:30. 8:30-ish at the latest. 8:30. And so, not that late, but maybe they're just maybe these people are in bed. Some people go to bed that early, and so...
If they're old people, they might.
They might. The other problem is I would have knocked on these people's door, but there wasn't a light on in this house.
Again, they might be old people going to bed early.
Yeah, anyway, it puts into perspective for me how good a dog I have, if I'm being totally honest. It kind of blows my mind. Can I just brag on my dog for a second? I know you didn't want to take long in the open, Zach, so you can cut me down at the end of it if you want to. I've earned the right.
At the end of it. So, he specified at the end of it.
Yeah, once I'm done talking.
Y'all watch my dog.
Yeah.
I feel confident in saying he has to be one of the easiest dogs to take care of.
For the most part, he's very anxious.
He's very anxious, and he does this whimpering thing. Yeah. He wants attention, but outside of the general, he doesn't get into anything.
He's too scared.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not going to pee and poop in the house. Like that's just not going to happen.
He's never done that.
Never does that here.
He's not loud and unruly. He's not barking at stuff.
No.
He's just, and I know when my parents watch him, like I never hear of like
issues,
anything. And I love y'all's dogs. Topanga is a train wreck.
Oh yeah.
He'll admit it.
Well, that's why she lives outside now.
Yeah.
Buster, the last time he actually stayed at my house, had already busted his tail open and was bleeding all over the wall.
Which that's fixed.
And
his tail's gone.
That was a medical condition.
It was a medical condition.
He's just, a wrecking crew on his own.
Well, like when we have your dog here, we don't have our dog out and your dog out at the same time just because they just want to wrestle the whole time, and they just get to like they play a game of who can put the other one's neck in their mouth the longest or the most. And so they both just start slobbering all over each other. Like they're playing. But
like what you have to consider is you and I got Buster right around the same time Jake and his now ex-wife got Razor.
Yeah.
And so our dogs were puppies together and grew up together, and when they were little, we let them roughhouse and wrestle and slobber. But now they're both giant.
Yeah.
And just too big for it.
So let's rotate them. Like when one's out, I put the other one kind of up, and then just kind of go like that.
Yeah.
But they love each other.
But Buster's tail's fixed. It's gone.
It's gone.
Mom has texted me he has moved, so he is not in the house.
Maybe he was just like taking a nap in a bush.
I don't know, but like that's the thing is my fear is that he's just not going to come to me because he's just got fixed in his head now. He's going to put me in a crate.
So that's how Topanga always was. She wouldn't come to me, but she would go to strangers.
Mm-hmm. Love strangers.
So, because she was just being stubborn. She was just being a jerk and would be like, screw you guys. I know you want me to come back. I'm just going to go to somewhere else.
So that's my house right in here, right? He's like right behind my house.
He may be trying to get back in.
So, so I feel bad, but I don't. Because it's like, I went back to my house and I scanned the fence. He absolutely dug a hole and got out.
Yeah.
So I feel bad, but I don't. Because it's like...
He may try to go back in.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's supposed to get pretty cold tonight. Maybe he'll get cold, find the hole he dug, and come back to the house and learn his lesson.
Worst case, I mean, if I need to, I can drive around down there and you can be out there too, and we can try to corner it. See if he'll come to me. Because that's
we did that with Topanga.
That's what Topanga. Like the only way I would ever get her back is if someone in the neighborhood was out and I could yell. And good thing Topanga doesn't speak good English, because I could say, "Hey, if she comes up to you, just hold on to her. She won't bite you, but like she's gonna run away from me." And
she's a smart dog, but she
doesn't speak English.
She's too dumb to understand and translate what you said.
So they'll like pet her and act like they're playing with her, and then they'll just grab her by the collar and wait for me to get her, because she's not aggressive. Yep. She just is insanely stubborn. If anybody ever wants a Shiba Inu, call me first.
Never.
They're the most stubborn dog I've ever met in my life.
She's 11. 10 out of 10, do not recommend.
If you could go back in time, would you purchase her again?
That's hard to say, because we've had some good times.
The first few years.
No, I mean she's still like, she's super sweet, and like she just lives outside now because
loves people, loves kids.
Because she just decided at like 8 years old, it's like, I'm just gonna start peeing in the house whenever I want, and it's not because she needed to go. Took her to the vet.
And it's not because she's like broken.
No,
she just
she
just was like, I'm just gonna pee in the house.
I told Zach, I said, well, maybe there's something wrong with her.
We took her to the vet, and we're like, oh, she must have like a UTI or something, and they're like, no, she's fine.
She's just doing it out of spite.
Yeah, because she can hold it when she's like in her crate or whatever.
She just doesn't want to.
She just like, if she's out and she's like, you know what, I think it's a good time right now. And so when we moved to our new house here like 2 years ago, I was like, I'm going to give her a chance. If she starts doing it again, then she's going to live outside, because we have a perfect fenced-in area for that and a big like shed and all that. And then like within the first week, she did like 2 or 3 times. So I was like, she's going to live outside now. And you know what? She's just her own independent woman out there.
She's fine.
She did that to me at Academy one time. I took her for a girls' day. We went to Starbucks, and then because she loves to ride in the car.
She does do,
and she's super easy to do stuff like that with. And so I was like, oh well, I'll just take her to like Academy and Lowe's, like dog friendly places. We'll just kind of go and hang out. So I let her go to the bathroom, do all her business, and so she was supposed to be fine for a while after this. And so we walk into Academy. She greets all the people at the front, and I went to.
Hello.
Yeah, she did. She said hello, and I went to the exercise section, and just out of nowhere, she starts pooping in the floor, and I was like, I have nothing to clean this up with. So that was fun.
Yeah, again, like, she lives outside now. She just
don't care anymore.
She literally does not care.
It is not, again, before anyone gets upset, like, we've taken her, like, she's been checked out multiple times. There's nothing wrong with her. She just has decided, you know what, I'm going to live on my terms. So we're like, all right, well, here are our terms.
It's like when old people.
Well, she's not incontinent, no.
No,
like,
but it's like when old people just get to the point in their lives where they just don't care.
Yeah, it's like if an old person just starts stealing because they know they're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah,
They're like, who cares?
It's very much like that.
What are you going to do?
They
Arrest
just don't
me?
care.
Yeah. And that's what she's like. What are you going to do? Put me outside? I don't care. I'm a dog.
She actually loves outside,
Yeah.
especially like colder weather, because like she's got the 2 coats.
Yeah,
and so she likes cold weather. Half the time when you let her out, before she lived outside, if I let her out, she wouldn't want to come back in.
Yeah.
We all lift up a prayer for little old River.
Little River.
Pray that old boy comes home.
He might be in your house when you get back.
He may be.
How much would that surprise you?
I'm gonna tell you this: if he comes back, it really doesn't matter now. But
You gonna throw him
he ain't
away?
coming out of that crate.
Well, he's got to pee at some
Well,
point.
he's gonna be tied.
Put him on a
something.
leash.
Yeah.
You're gonna hold him.
To which that's what I did at first, but he wasn't using the bathroom.
Yeah. Well,
He'd come in after being out there for 20 or 30 minutes, and he's crapping in my floor.
You might have to like go out there and like hang out with him, and then like not let the other dogs out there. Just you and him on the leash.
Maybe he's nervous.
I don't know. I
Well-
hate these little yappy dogs. I can't
Well,
stand them.
if he does come back to the house and you put him in his crate, it's fine because you did say your mom was supposed to come pick up the dogs first thing in the morning anyway.
Well, I'm gonna cut you off.
Thanks.
No, you're done.
we honestly, it's again the day of Thanksgiving. Hannah and I just watched All Stars because Jake was running behind, so we went ahead and watched it. We're going to record that, I believe, Sunday night. But when we sat down to record, Hannah and I watched this episode Wednesday night, like not live, but pretty close to live.
Yeah, like right after it premiered.
And when we sat down here, like I said out loud to them, I was like, I don't remember what happened in this episode.
And
Like,
then I got to thinking, and I was like, I don't either.
yeah,
and that's when I said, Big T went home.
and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Even when she goes home,
It's not
it's
memorable.
not memorable.
Well, that's the thing. I started thinking, like, what happened
I
in this
couldn't.
week's episode?
Yeah.
And right when Jake started talking, I almost said, oh, Kyle got in a lot of trouble. No, that was the week before.
I mean, honestly, I remember it now. Like, I'm gonna have to go back through my notes. This is the first time we've ever recorded, and we've done like this many times where we've like been delayed a day or so, where we've ever recorded, and I'm like, I have to recheck all my notes to like get a bearing about what happened, and I don't know if that's just because
You had
All
to put some
Stars.
gas in the tank.
Yeah, and you know, if you put gas in the freezer, it becomes gelatinous.
Is that right?
That's a
Yeah.
that's a
Oh,
reference.
that's such a good one.
It is. And
It becomes
only-
gelatinous.
I think only Corn Dog Katie's gonna get that reference. I'll play it for you later.
Kelsey might get it because
Oh, she might.
because
Yeah.
we played the album or
Yeah.
episode on repeat the whole way to Nashville
You know what?
Challenge Mania right before
That's
COVID.
gonna be my pop culture pick at the end.
Oh, y'all talking about that trip that I didn't have anything to do with anybody.
Yes, and
Okay.
you totally missed out on all of our jokes.
No. This is beyond that. I'll play it
okay.
for you later. This is Big T's going home again. Honestly, probably forever.
Yeah. So
Did you see what she posted?
that's what I was gonna.
I know she's got into
actually took
culinary
it-
school. And she
She
said
got-
one
she
door
got accepted.
She's like one door closes on the challenge and another
Yeah.
one opens.
Yes.
I mean,
Watch
right move from her.
watch us watch
Yes.
the Food Network and then see her on MasterChef.
First, this is the second time you've missed reference to MasterChef is not on Food Network. MasterChef is not Top Chef either. Top Chef's not even on Food Network. Top Chef is on Bravo, and that is professionally, like, highly trained chefs. Usually they become like Michelin star
Yeah,
chefs.
I did not say Top Chef.
I know, but
I'm not looking for Top
Master Chef is home cooks that are on Fox with Gordon Ramsay.
I like Gordon Ramsay.
None of them are on the Food Network. The only the one you should watch, Johnny Bananas was on. It was Worst Chefs in America, and that was on Food Network.
Well, I think if Big T's going to culinary school, she shouldn't be on Worst Chefs in America.
I would hope not. Otherwise, you might be wasting money on that one.
I'm a Robert Irvine kind of guy myself.
That's a Food Network guy.
Yeah.
I
like Robert.
I prefer.
You like Trisha Yearwood?
I'm unfamiliar with her work.
Okay.
Robert retweeted me
Trisha
one time.
Yearwood.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Who's Trisha Yearwood? That sounds like a country singer.
She is a country singer, but she's also like a, I don't know if you'd call her a chef. She's like a
She's just a woman who cooks?
No, she's like a famous home cook because she has like a whole collection of stuff at Williams-Sonoma.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I only knew about her from... That's what confused me. I was like, what does that have to do with cooking? Because I only know her about music.
I think she's been featured on the Food Network before. But I do know for a fact that she has stuff at Williams-Sonoma because I saw it this time last year when I went in for Christmas stuff.
Well, good luck, Big T, on all your cooking. Maybe she'll be on the Great British Bake Off. That seems right up her alley.
Oh, she is British.
She's British. It's the most polite cooking show I've ever seen in my life.
I
and it's
actually
a
really
competition.
kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
So,
I just, as a post-mortem
rest in peace.
for Big T and her challenge career,
I think she's done.
it won't bother me one bit if she is.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't say that to be mean. I wish her well. It's nothing personal. But as someone who watches this show,
especially what this show is now.
I think she was part of the problem.
What specific problem?
Well, we've been talking about how boring the cast is and stuff. And
I just didn't know which direction.
She's at the top of that. Like,
I'd say she is 2 or 3. I mean, Casey's number 1 as far as boring.
Oh yeah. I was getting ready to defend Casey Cooper.
Oh no, not All Star.
Yeah, no. That's where I was confused. Yeah.
Speaking of which, didn't get anything out of Casey Cooper this week.
Well, we're not even recording that yet.
But I know we'll get to all of it. But to have an elimination that not even just that she said was catered to her strengths, but that even other people said was catered.
We're jumping ahead. You could not have made an elimination more up Big T's alley and less up Emmy's
It's
alley.
almost like it was rigged for her, and she still lost.
I mean, I was when they showed it, I was like, these are her parent. Swimming's supposed to be a strength, even though this season she didn't really show that. And then she's in the confessionals for the elimination called herself a puzzle queen, and I was like, Amy's very like, hey, I don't like puzzles. That's the one thing that scares me. And then still,
she even said that earlier in the season. She said, "If it's puzzles, please do not put me in."
Yeah. We'll get back into that. This episode starts with more of Emmanuel being a chicken.
Thinking Kyle's a chicken.
Yeah, but he became a chicken to mock Kyle.
He did
multiple times. Yeah. Then
do you ever do that?
Mock Kyle?
Become a chicken?
I don't think I ever have. Jake used to like going to baseball games to do that chicken dance.
I used to join
I
in.
knew it. I
used to join in. Yeah.
It took you a minute to catch up, but
I remember the dance.
Can you do it right now?
I don't want to do it right now.
Okay.
But can you?
My lower back hurts.
Okay.
I went on a freaking 3-mile jog trying to find this dog.
So Sapphire has a team meeting. Emmy just wants their team to like get along. Otherwise, the team's going to go to hell. That's her quote.
Yes. That was a quote.
Yeah.
Well, it was a team meeting with just 2 people.
Yeah.
It was just her and CT.
I mean, but she's like, you and Kyle need to work it out. And he's like, I don't know if I trust Kyle. And she's like, well, our team's just got to go to hell.
It is weird how, like, I probably just over the, last few seasons would have said, I bet you, like CT and Kyle are, not
Buddies.
tight, right? But,
They're pretty good buddies.
And for CT to just outright be like, no, man, we're not friends.
Well,
he had me fooled.
And seemingly just doesn't really like the guy.
I would have thought that they were friendly and had similar alliances just with Devin and, some of those people. But it doesn't surprise me at all that CT doesn't trust him. Like, one bit. Because, I mean, like, some people like Ashley get a bad rap for, you always screw people over, whatever. Like, Kyle is just maliciously lied to everyone he gets in contact with.
Was it not the previous season where Kyle and CT were a little bit closer than they are this season? And I'm pretty sure CT said that like his two guys were Devin and Kyle.
I will say
Sounds right.
I will say game relationships are not necessarily friendships, like game numbers.
I agree.
So
I thought they were a little bit closer than
I did think that too. But someone later on in this episode, I don't even remember who it was. I think it was Nelson, has said like CT has screwed over Kyle so many times in the past, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what is that even referring to? And so, but anyway, it's Nelson. You never know what's going on with him. He's back with Dr. Phil lady. They get a day off, which is unusual for these newer seasons. We had that one last season, I think, where they were like in like
hot springs or
something.
something.
Like pools, and they had like champagne and stuff.
Because it was when Big T was mad at CT.
Oh, great. So she gets mad at him later in this episode too. So they get a boat day. And
to which I pointed out, Zach, I made you rewind. Somebody was taking a picture of Kyle.
This is Amanda.
Pretty sure it looked like she was holding an iPhone.
Yeah, they had phones.
I thought they weren't supposed to have phones on the challenge.
They're not, but like I think they've had to get lax with some of that in the most recent seasons. Like it used to be like when you were on like the Real World and whatever, like nothing.
You had that landline.
They wouldn't even let them bring books.
No, you had a landline that you could call and it was all recorded, and then like once a week you might get like email or something. But like I think just with everyone having to be, and like with people like Amanda who's got a baby at home, like you probably do have to bend those rules a little bit. And then with COVID and all that stuff, like you never know who needs to get in touch. But this was a day off. I don't think they're allowed to just have the phones in the house. They probably have a producer who has them all for them, and it's like if there's an emergency, they'll figure it out. But this is a day off, so I guess it's
and they
something.
those phones could have not had like access to like cellular.
That's
data,
true. They could. It could have been to take pictures and stuff. Because again, if you don't have an international plan and you're overseas and you turn that on, like you're gonna be paying a lot of money.
Yeah.
I thought the Nelson quote was way later. It was right after this boat thing. It was Amanda. It was Amanda. It wasn't even Nelson. It was Amanda that said CT has betrayed Kyle so many times. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was like, what is? I genuinely don't know what that's referring to. Like they went against each other in like War of the Worlds, but that was just because they got into a 3-way thing.
Yeah, I can't remember that guy's name.
JP.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Brazilian guy.
I forgot about him.
One and done.
He was
He's
a one
boring.
and done.
He's real like muscular, good-looking guy, but he didn't bring anything to the show.
Well, if he'd have just waited a few more seasons, he would have been one of those that gets the callbacks.
Are you talking about Nom?
No, Nom's.
Hey.
I thought about Nom today. I forgot he was on this season until I saw on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? He was like the first person that was like, oh, episode 1, like they're really focusing on Nom because they're showing all the international people.
Whose fault was it that he wasn't on this season?
Someone broke COVID protocol. It was Big T, I think. I don't remember, honestly.
And that's where my beef stems from.
And then they had to go into lockdown, and then he had something that happened. I think he got symptoms like at the end of their quarantine period. Mm-hmm. And so, anyway, hope you're doing well, Nom.
This could have been the turnaround season for Nom.
Well, he's only been on one.
Exactly. Like he's good physically, but he was partnered with a crazy person that just totally ruined his chances at getting very far.
Yeah, he's one that even though he's kind of reserved and whatever, he's had a bad shake on like both seasons he's on.
Yeah.
And it was stuff out of his control. So I wouldn't mind seeing him again just to see what he can do. So they all get back to the house. That's when Tori and Devin have another go at each other, and Tori just wants Devin to apologize
for hurting her feelings.
But at first she doesn't say that, and I get where
I
I get what she meant later, but she's like, just apologize, and he's like, for what? And then she goes into it, and he's like, well, I can't apologize for everyone's feelings that get hurt because I'm going to be apologizing to so many people, which.
I kind of understand
it's different
that,
if you're actual friends.
But if you're legitimately friends and you do something to hurt the other person's feelings, just like Tori, she said, just apologize for hurting my feelings so that we can move on from this.
I don't have a problem with him asking for what. Because, again, if he's just like, sure, I apologize, then he's not really, he doesn't understand.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't know what I did wrong. And so when she said all that, yeah.
I feel like Devin's probably pretty annoying to be with because he seems like one of those guys who's always right and never wrong. In his head, right?
I think, I definitely think he leans that way.
Yeah.
I mean, his big thing this season is people think that he's gotten like power hungry, which I don't know if that's necessarily a thing. I think this is his best strategic season he's had probably. But I do think since him and Tori have both said many times like how like good friends they are outside of the show, it's different than like the CT and Kyle thing.
Yeah. Or even Devin and anybody else in the house.
Yeah, you need to make more of an effort if it's like an actual friend. Yeah. If they're saying like, "Hey, this is what is wrong."
Well, he started doing something during the nominations that we'll get to. That it's crazy how many people this season has made us like, or maybe it's just me, like kind of walk back on whether it's Nelson, Kyle hasn't been as everything just seems so forced to the point where it's like. This isn't as fun.
Well, I think we've also seen a lot of these same people over and over again.
That could be it, too.
It's fatigue. And then they're trying to, like, bring a different dynamic. I don't know.
Which, it's just weird. That's just weird. But anyway, Tori basically was trying to remind him that it wasn't her choice that she got moved to a different team and that they were on opposing teams. He basically just didn't see a reason to apologize, even if her feelings were hurt. And that's when she ultimately told him that his pride was going to be what made him lose a friend. And she just walked off on him.
Yeah, I don't know if there was any more to that situation that we just didn't see. Like, they talked later or something. We never know because we're watching a condensed version of everything.
An edited version of a conversation.
So this is a complete non sequitur. I don't remember why he said it. I believe it may be because Big T said something about maybe wanting to be thrown in. I don't know if she said it this early, but Logan tells her to keep in the pocket 6 donuts. I believe that's a reference to she only eats donuts for breakfast.
That's what it was. Yeah. So
did she at that point before the daily? Did she talk about wanting to be thrown in?
So what she had talked about was that she hates losing.
Yeah.
And that and he basically said to her, if you hate losing, then prepare not to lose.
Okay,
and you're not. And he was like, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's when he was like, you eat donuts all the time.
Keep in the pocket 6 donuts.
Remember, he said, he's like, well, you're not preparing to not lose. And we both were like, oh.
I mean, it's like.
It's true, though. Like,
all these like rookies who have been good this season, like, they all have been like, oh, she's just not good. She's not ready for this.
They've seen it, and now it's becoming a thing where they're saying it to her.
And it's not people that are just like being mean for the sake of being mean. They're like, oh no, like this person might be on our team. Like, that's not a good thing that she's not ready.
They're being realistic.
Yeah. Again, this is for $500,000. Like, I don't blame anybody for saying like, hey.
$500,000.
Is it?
This is for full million.
All Stars is $500,000. That's what it is.
You're only as
double
strong
that
as your weakest link.
100%.
Yeah.
Big Easy, Inferno 3.
Yep.
I mean, it's a notorious one, and he hates it, and but that's the best example of it. They kept him around because they knew that he'd probably slow him down in the thing, and they were all chained together. Guess what? They lost. And so we just don't know what this final is going to be. So we get to the daily. It's just called $1 Million Heist.
Did you know that $1 million weighs 2,000 pounds?
I did not. Never have once thought about it before.
Casey didn't either, so y'all are...
Oh, that's good.
One and the same.
Yeah.
That's one of the many things we have in common.
Yeah.
I have a Nintendo controller tattoo. You just have never seen it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's on his butt cheek. I won't tell you which one.
Above or below the crack?
In between. Yeah.
Okay.
So they do kind
the
of...
start button is on your butthole.
Yeah.
You have to have him lay down, and then you spread the cheeks in order to see it.
To go to sleep, you have to put in the contra
That's got to
code.
be because I know people do
up,
it.
down, left, flat, left, right,
Yeah.
BAs. I mean, select start.
That's got to be one of the most painful spots to get a tattoo.
Oh yeah, and
Your butthole?
think about the healing process.
You can't wipe your butt, right?
Well, you're just introducing bacteria to it all
that's
the
just
time.
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I can't believe people do that.
Yeah.
That's awful.
You would have to like take lots of Imodium so that you didn't poop for a few days.
That's a very bad idea too. The reason I thought about that is there's always videos on Reddit of people like shoot fireworks out of their butt or whatever, and most of them squeeze too tight or whatever, and then it burns them. And like a doctor got on there one time, and he's like, "Let me walk you guys through what's going to happen." And like he just laid out all the stuff. Your life's ruined. Not only just like the physical pain and trauma and scarring and having to try to keep that area clean and sanitized while you're healing, but he's like the amount of money, the multiple surgeries you're going to have, like you're going to be basically medically bankrupt. And he's just like, it's not ever worth it. It's not a funny joke. It never is. Everyone's like, oh, that's so good. It's like more times than not, you've literally ruined your life and have these like crazy scarring and stuff that doesn't heal properly. You can't, sit down anywhere for months. Like it's bad.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it makes me sick.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the people that butt chug?
Well, you can die from that.
I
UT
know,
Knoxville died doing that.
Like I know of people that have died from it, but
You know people?
I said I know of people that have died from it because like I'm from the Knoxville area, and like that's
That happened like 12 years after you left.
I know, but also a lot of my friends went to school there. I dated people that were in school there when I was in college, and they were all in frats. They were all partied, and they all butt chugged. It's like a thing that they do there.
Well, it's banned there, but
like, what happens if you don't die? Like, how does that it affect you?
Well, it doesn't filter. Your liver doesn't filter anything, so the alcohol goes directly into your bloodstream. It like absorbs through your colon and stuff.
I know they do it in order to get drunker faster.
Yeah, so actually on the show 1,000 Ways to Die, shout out to Spike Network, there was an alcoholic who had like a tracheotomy or something, so he couldn't drink, and he made his wife put a bottle of wine in his butt, and he died, like, because he did a whole bottle of wine. And so yeah, don't do that. There's a lot of good. The worst one I ever saw in 1,000 Ways to Die,
I don't like this.
was it was someone it was like a sword swallower, but they did an umbrella.
I don't want to listen. You can stop now.
Their throat unlatched the umbrella,
now.
and so it
I
opened.
don't want to hear it.
It opened inside, and so when they tried to
You're
pull it
screwed.
out,
It's done.
I don't want.
when they tried to pull it
There's
out,
nothing you can do.
all the prongs were there.
Yeah, you can't do
Yeah.
anything. It's over.
Yeah, I think that number one was two people died having sex with each other because they were so embarrassed that they both died. That was the number one on 1,000 Ways to Die.
They had such an orgasm. They had
No.
No.
a killer orgasm.
I think it was a Japanese couple, and they both were extremely shy, and they both had never done anything like that before. And when they did it for the first time, they both went into cardiac arrest and died.
Because they were so shy.
Yeah. But that was the number one. Like, I thought it was a joke, like they would never get a number one, but they're like, no, this is it. This is the number one way to die. It's a good show. Go back and watch it sometime. So 2 duffel bags per team. Which kind of evens it up, except, the more people you have, the more can carry it. And so it kind of played out that way, too.
I'm glad they specified it because I was under the impression it was 2 duffel bags per person.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we talked about it, and you're like, no, it's only 2 per team, so it doesn't matter how many people you have on your team. There's only 2 total bags.
It was an interesting choice to make everyone wear arm sleeves today for the first time, just to, like, identify each other, I guess. We haven't seen that
They
yet.
had them on another week, too.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
I don't
But
remember.
I don't understand
Was it
why
the
it's-
football one, maybe? Like the 500th episode or whatever? That was the really bad daily?
No.
I don't even remember that.
Anyway, I just remember Logan threw a pass, and I'm like, you caught it in the end zone. You didn't
That
run
may
it
have been
across
that
the
one.
end
I
zone.
don't remember.
CT does the rules thing.
Well, that's just you're biting off Jake's stuff
you're,
now.
You're taking my load.
That is.
No, thank you. I'm sure you'll do the points for that, but I was very put off that he pulled a Casey.
Well, he's on Jake's team, so that's negative for him, fantasy
negative
points.
for me, yeah.
So, Nani's worried about Ruby because obviously they have the second most people, and they're doing pretty good. at some point in this daily, Logan gives out a bank account that gets censored. I don't know what you could do with that information if you had it, but
well, he said he didn't want any of this cash. He wanted it to just be wired to his account.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I wouldn't want it in all ones, but if that's the only way you can get it, I'll take it.
I mean, it's still the same money. Big T wanted to use this daily to prove that she could run a final.
Yeah,
I feel like that's been a theme for about 4 seasons now.
But the fact that she like explicitly said that out loud, and then seeing what she did later in the daily,
well,
it hurt.
This is a very final-esque type daily. It's a lot of the same thing, endurance, but like repetition, like doing the same thing over and over again.
Running in the heat.
Yeah, I mean, again, Devin's endurance came into question in this. I mean, that's obviously his, big weakness, I would say, is his endurance. But again, he says it later on. He's like, I never quit. It was like, we won. Logan had to tell Big T to keep moving because she slowed down after she said the thing Hannah said. And then they're like, hey, go ahead and start clearing this cash out, and we'll...
make room for the next bag.
Yeah. And then she just jumps. There's 3 cars. They've been running to the same car for, conservatively at this point, an hour, 45 minutes for how many trips they've made back and forth.
Mm-hmm. This was close to the end.
And they were having to make more room for money, and she just jumps in the wrong car. And it's like, how do you get that confused? Like, did she jump in Emeralds? Was that who it was, or was it Sapphire?
She jumped in Sapphire's.
I didn't know. They were in last place by a long shot, but it's just like every single person on our team was like, what are you doing? Like, you went to the wrong... Like, Nelson's not strong mentally a lot of times, let's put it that way. And, like, immediately he was like, What are you doing?
Like, he went off on her, and then Tori started getting real irritated with her, too.
I mean, you're helping another team just because you're not paying attention.
But even when they got to the right car, Big T said that she was helping do something, and Tori was like, no, you're not helping at all.
Oh, yeah, I wrote... I wrote a quote down about that. Where's it at? She's like, Big T, I need you to get your head in the game, okay, buddy? And I was like, that's how you talk to a 3-year-old.
Yeah, and I couldn't make out what...
The okay, buddy. Yeah. I say that to my students a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't make out exactly what he said. Did Nelson at one point tell her to get away?
Oh, I don't know.
When they got back to the vault? Like, I rewound it a couple of times, and it's still, like, kind of muffled, but it sounds like he says, Big T, get away.
He said, get out of the way.
Or
similar.
Same thing.
Because I remember that, because I was like, man, he's really yelling at her.
Well, they had a chance to win.
They would have won.
They were close, but yeah.
After the car thing, Big T said that she was like, well, now I feel embarrassed and like I'm the weakest female player.
Well, that's been a thing.
But she's like is acknowledging it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess good job on that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a thing over and over again. Ruby, technically, were at the last, like the fill-up area, they had a chance, but they weren't going to be able to fit all that in those bags. There was no more room. So I think it was Logan or I don't know. Somebody's
Logan told them that
we got to go. Like, cause it's not going to fit. It's like, it's impossible. So we got to come back. And so then Emerald was able to fit just enough in their last thing. So, I mean, I don't think Logan made the wrong call. I think it was like, there's just not enough room.
Yeah. And if they had spent more time sitting there trying to make the room that didn't exist, it would have, Emerald would have won that.
Yeah.
Sooner.
I think it was like they were screwed either way.
Yeah.
So you might as well try to run and hope somebody falls. I don't know. You just don't know.
This was when we saw how far behind CT's team was.
Yeah, because the edit made it seem like they were pretty close too.
They were not.
They weren't. They probably had a third left or something like that. Yeah, which I skipped over it because I kind of jumped down in my notes. But at one point, CT said Kyle is a broken mirror and that everywhere he goes is just bad luck. And but then they get back to the house and it's Kyle's birthday.
Scottish birthday party.
Yeah, and I looked it up. He's not. I wonder if he's got roots in there because he is from, like, born in England. And the UK is weird because it's like 4 separate areas that are all, I don't know. But he's not, is it Scottish or Irish that wear kilts? Scottish, right?
Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not Scottish, but I wonder if his family is.
It could be like his parents, because a little bit of his accent almost sounds like
Yeah. He's got a very distinct accent compared to a lot of the UK people.
But I mean, like, I know people in America who's like, they've got one parent that's an immigrant, and even though that person was born and raised in America, they still have their parents' accent because they're just around it all the time.
No, yeah, I get that. I just thought that maybe Kyle was like raised there or something, but because everyone was wearing kilts, which weren't actually kilts, they were just flannel shirts that they wore backwards.
Except Kyle didn't wear any underwear under his.
Which I believe is the like traditional way to wear a kilt.
With
like,
your butt out.
Well, no.
He had his butt fully out.
Well, that's because it was
Commando.
a shirt. Yeah, I don't think you wear underwear with it just by default. You know?
There's a guy that in the spring and summer dresses in a full kilt and hangs out at our local Chick-fil-A and plays the bagpipes in the parking lot.
Is he commando?
I don't know. I've never stopped to ask him, but he's there all the time because I have several videos of where I've just gone to Chick-fil-A and I'd sit in the line waiting, and he's just like pacing the parking lot playing his bagpipes. And then I saw him at Panera one time.
It's both and Scottish and Irish kilts. Like,
Seems more Scottish than Irish.
yeah, are traditionally associated with Scotland, but they are long established in Irish culture too. So,
how about that, Han?
hallelujah.
I learn something new every day.
So
Yeah.
anyway, Kyle's got his butt out, and
It's his birthday.
I don't know.
He's in his birthday suit.
29, right?
I don't know, probably something like that.
Han, I don't outright look for this stuff. Han, you outright look at nail beds most times.
Sometimes.
I don't know. There was a time last episode, and then a couple of times this episode. Kyle has kind of a weird butt. It's a weirdly shaped butt. It's very low.
I didn't notice
Okay.
that. I was wondering when he had it out if I was like, I wonder if he's had like work done on his butt because he's had work done everywhere else.
Maybe that's why it looks kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think his butt looks funny.
You know, maybe,
There's a scene where him and Devin, was it this episode? Him and Devin are talking, right? At the beginning of the episode, in like their bedroom. It was like after the elimination and stuff.
it may have been last episode then.
Maybe.
Okay.
But it was just him and Kyle. And I think it was, actually. Yeah. No, it was this episode.
And you saw his butt?
Well, he was in like the Under Armour.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember, the camera was kind of behind him, but off to the side, kind of catty-cornered.
Mm-hmm.
And his butt just looks weird. It's just a weirdly shaped butt.
Maybe we'll have to talk to Ross, the guy who designed all the new merch, smashingheadspodcast.com/store. He's in the UK. They get like weird uncensored versions of a lot of this stuff.
You could ask
He
Ross
might can get you a clear shot
what
of that.
the butt
Okay.
looks like.
I'll tell you this. He ain't no Huey.
Yeah, but Huey's is very fake.
He had implants.
Yeah.
And was
And he's
like,
gonna get
vocal
more,
about it.
apparently.
Regardless, that
Really?
thing, that thing is shaped.
Yeah, he said he's gonna get bigger, but also it also cost him the elimination because he couldn't climb that pole.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway, Big T at this point is when she tells people she wants to go in.
Well, Tori.
Yeah.
But I think everybody picked up on it.
And she also wants to go to Emerald. And
Yeah, she said she wanted to throw herself into elimination because she felt like it was her fault that their team lost the daily.
I thought she was just saying like she wanted to go in because she's tired of losing. And
No,
like,
she
I don't know.
said she felt guilty because she felt like it was her fault that they lost that daily, and that when she goes in, she wants to win and infiltrate Emerald.
The quote I have here, Han, is that she's sick of being the weakest link.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do good on that Weakest Link show.
The weakest link.
Yeah.
Solid show.
I mean, sure. I didn't really watch it a lot.
The host was a real jerk, but
That was her role.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be.
what did The Rock used to say? Shut your mouth and know your role.
I only know one thing that he said, and it
Just
is-
bring it.
Yeah, just bring it.
That's like that show Bring It On.
So, she wants to go to Emerald. Emerald does not want her on their team.
Nobody wants her on their team.
That's very true, but Emerald definitely doesn't want her on their team at this point because she would be taking out either Casey, Nani, or Amanda. Most likely Amanda, but it's not like Tori's coming back over there, so it's not. No. It doesn't really help that out. And so Amanda, when Emerald gets together, thinks that they should vote in Tori. And I was like, okay. I was like, but if Tori goes in and wins, like she's taken at that point, because the whole thing blow up hadn't really played out fully yet. I was like, she's gonna probably take Amanda's spot, and I was like, that's not a great long-term thought by Amanda. But then Devin brings that to Tori, and she's like, absolutely not. Like, I do not want to go into elimination. I think she's had some bad losses in eliminations.
She has.
And she's supposed to be this big, like, domineering, like, force, and she hasn't fully lived up to that. And then, you know, she lost to Anissa in that medicine ball game last year, and, like, couldn't even get that cart turned over just to start the elimination. And so she just doesn't want to go in. And so we get to the nominations. People start talking. Amy tells them she doesn't want to go in.
She used our name.
But she said, yeah, she said.
I told Tech, I was like, did she just say smash heads?
She said, I'll crack bones, smash heads.
Yeah.
And I was like, there we go. Again, I don't get why people don't like her.
I don't get it. I don't get it. She called us out and she didn't even know us.
And so they kind of go around the room, and Big T just straight up tells them, like, I want to go in, and then I want to be on the Emerald team. And I was like, well, that's not a great strategy. Like, if you want to be the pick, you may not should say that, because they're not going to want you in there unless they just believe in you so little that they don't think it matters who you go against.
She does not understand why Emerald doesn't want to vote her in when she's volunteering, because she told Emerald she wants to infiltrate their team and they don't want her. She doesn't understand why they don't want to vote her in.
I thought they legitimately might pick Amy or Tori just because that's how much they want to try to keep Big T off their team. But I think at the end of the day,
either of these girls are going to pick Big T.
That's the thing. They're like, Big T's going to go in. She's going to pick Amy over Tori because Amy's at least closer to her size. And they're like, honestly, like, is Big T going to win this elimination? Like, what are the chances of that? And so she gets to be the pick. I guess I skipped over Nelson's insult sandwich part, which started a whole big thing.
This is where, like, because, like, this is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, Devin went into this whole thing about how it's not personal, and it's like, well, you just had this whole blow up last week, over something that shouldn't have been personal.
Well, and actually,
you made it personal.
A couple of episodes, he's like, everyone's being so selfish.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, yeah.
And now, it's not personal. Yeah, you can't pick and choose.
I think CT and Tori both jumped in there and like, hold on, like we're kind of over these apologies.
Yeah.
And
Devin wanted to vote in Big T for the Emerald team because Tori had explicitly told him she did not want to be their vote in.
She said, I don't want to be weaponized, because if you put me in to take Big T out, I'm not joining your team. I'm going to join Sapphire and make them a stronger team. And
so Devin saw that not voting Tori was kind of like a reset button for their friendship, because, you know, she said she didn't want to be voted in. He made sure his team didn't vote her in, and so it was kind of like him giving a peace offering for her.
Yeah. We did get in the middle of this the Ja Morant, which I don't know if you did, because we were watching on DirecTV. We got the new Ja Morant Nike commercial.
And then a sick commercial.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Did you know there's an extended version?
Yeah, this was the one I had seen on like Instagram and stuff was a shorter one. This was like a long,
for real?
with like even more stuff in it.
I need to go watch that.
Yeah,
there's lots of little Easter eggs.
Yeah,
it's fun.
He's big time, man.
It's fun
because it was showing because it shows these like two girls on Beale Street, and they're wearing they're wearing like Las Vegas jerseys. Like, why are they wearing that?
Yeah.
And they're wearing Asia Wilson jerseys, and he's really good friends with Asia Wilson. I believe she's from South Carolina as well. And so that's just like a little Easter egg in there. Yo Gotti's in there. T. Martin is the guy cutting hair in there. His dad.
T. Morant.
I said T. Martin.
That's a
Yeah.
former Vols
Yeah,
quarterback.
I think he's a coach now.
Offensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, good for him.
Maybe a head coach now. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, John Morant commercial came on in the middle of this, and then Big T's the pick, and then I was like, I guess they just don't think she has a chance.
Well, she after she gets voted in, I'm skipping something. Emmy getting upset with Emmanuel, but
Well, yeah, Emmy at that says, "I am the weapon." To Emmanuel, because like he's like, I'm gonna go in, like I know I am, and I've taken 3 people out already. She's like, you should have helped protect me, and that's when Emmanuel's like, I don't think Big T deserves to be here, and I was like, well,
yeah, he just said it like plain as day. After this is when Big T is with Tori, and she said, I feel really good about it, and then Tori says, cool.
yeah, I feel really good about it. Cool. Yeah.
It's crazy.
She
how
said it just like that too.
people, they all kind of baby her. Like they just,
And she's older than a lot of them.
Yeah,
she's
she
in
is.
her 30s.
If she's not, she's like 29. Yeah, it's close. And but that was the thing. Like last season, everyone's like, "Oh, she's with all the rookie girls." Like she's not a rookie, and she's also like a lot older than them.
Yeah.
So we get to the elimination. Big T chooses Emmy. Kind of figured that was coming. It's called License to Chill, and there's water and there's a puzzle, and you're like, "Well, man, this is the best chance Big T's gonna have to win an elimination."
And she felt that way too.
yeah.
Yeah, she said she likes puzzles and water, and she picked Emmy because she knows Emmy doesn't like puzzles, and she doesn't think Emmy is a good swimmer.
And Emmy says, if I have to die in here, I will die in here.
Big T also proclaimed herself the puzzle queen.
Yeah, in the
She
middle.
did. She called herself that.
Yeah.
Which
Which
thought
there's
I
nothing to
thought
back
that
that
was
up.
Ashley.
Nothing.
Like everybody called Ashley the
Yeah,
puzzle queen.
it's Ashley. If you're going to have a puzzle king and queen, it's CT and Ashley.
Yeah.
You might could put someone like Cam kind of up there, or like Veronica or somebody like, I don't, but like Big T's not even, she's not even making
We've
the-
never known her.
She's not even an honorable
to be
mention.
Good at puzzles.
And so they start going. CT's helping Emmy. She's been on his team. They have a very...
Keep going.
Well, you pointed at me to stop.
Not really. That's not what I meant.
Okay. Well, I can't infer it. So CT is helping Emmy because they've been on the same cell the whole time. She's very much like, that's her like father figure, even though she calls him Uncle CT. Like that is her I guess his protege.
Yeah, and she's also the only female on his team.
Yeah, and like she's been like, she wants to work with CT. He wants her to be there, and so he's helping her because he knows puzzles aren't good, and he's puzzle king.
If she gets eliminated, he doesn't have a female on his team.
Yeah, unless Big T came over, and that's not what he wants.
Yeah.
And so, again, in everybody's mind that's ever watched the show, you're like, I get it.
Yeah,
but
that
then
makes
Big
sense.
T's like, it makes me upset that he's not cheered for me, and it's like,
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
He's not even on your team.
She's not on his team. They've not been on the same team that I remember this season.
Not this season.
Yeah. So why? Emmy is the only female on his team.
Actually, she tried to join their cell, and he
And he
convinced
told
her
her
to
yeah.
go to the other one.
Yeah. I just don't.
What's a carryover from last season?
Yeah, again.
I just don't understand. This right before this was when Nelson had a confessional, and he said, "Big T, you have dropped the ball on every single mission. It's your time to go."
Well, let's put a pin in that real quick. But remind me to come back to that quote.
Okay.
Do you think Big T is jealous of Emmy's relationship with CT?
Yes.
I didn't even put that together until
Because CT and Big T were partners last season, and she got upset that he kind of threw her under the bus.
I mean, it wasn't even that. It was he just got excited to not be on her team anymore.
Yeah. And
Which which everybody got in a real stir about last
And now
season.
every single person
every
on
single
this-
person on the show, like they don't even try to hide it. They outright
say it to her face.
Say it to her face. They vocalize it. They do not want
You doing
her.
okay, buddy?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, which I stand by it. The whole thing last season was goofy, and yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
No, I think so, because I think Big T sees how strong of a player CT is, not only in physical competition, but also mentally and politically. CT is a presence in the house, and no matter who you are, you're afraid to go against him. You want to be on his side, and you want to have his favor. Because if he's looking out for you, you're pretty good for most of the season, if not to the final. So, again, she probably wants to be in that position, and Emmy has so easily slid into it.
Yeah.
And he's so, like...
Well, Emmy's a million times more the competitor.
But CT's also very outspoken about how much he likes Emmy. There's been several instances this season where he says, I just love Emmy. How could you not love her?
Because he knows she's going to die out on there before she gives up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nelson quote.
Yes.
Read it.
Big T, you have dropped the ball on every single mission. It's your time to go.
Which is not wrong, but Greg pointed out in our Slack group that Nelson has now lost 50 consecutive daily challenges.
Yeah.
He's lost, and a lot of these were team challenges.
Nelson has also dropped the ball on every single mission.
Not always his fault, but
also not to the effect
yes.
Big T has.
But 50 consecutive dailies, that's pretty bad.
Did you read what the last one he won was?
Oh, man. Yeah, but I can't remember.
It was the car daily on Vendettas, the one that Leroy got hurt so bad on, where they're jumping across the cars up above the air.
Yep.
That's the last one that Nelson won. Vendettas.
Wow.
That's before we started making this podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, that's how long it's been since he's won a daily. Now, he's won a lot of eliminations since then.
Hey, that's where it matters most, though, is the eliminations.
But
so.
that's what a stat. Like, I don't think anyone has even come close to that. And I think if they would, he would have brought it up. And he also said, we're getting a little ahead to Emmy winning, but Sarah Grayson, Wes Bergman, and Casey Cooper, which thanks to Wes, are the only people to win 5 eliminations in a season, each of whom did it on their debut season. Emmy can match that if she wins one more time.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of just an odd stat more than anything, because, again, you have, like, Casey in there.
At this point, like, if you're any of these girls, as long as Emmy's not the one to get voted in by the winning team, like, if you're any of these girls, you're not picking Emmy, right?
No.
I mean, 4-0 in
just
elimination.
Also, Derek is the only other person to win 4 in a season. Remarkably, Emmy is the oldest to accomplish that because she's 2 months older than Derek was at the time.
Derek
Kaczynski. Yeah. I mean, that, like, I think Emmanuel said it, or somebody said it, like, she's a rookie of the year. Like, she just is. And,
yes.
I mean, 4-0 in mostly single eliminations. Not like you got carried by a partner, like kind of like what Casey, and Wes, that situation. But, like, I mean, this was Big T's chance.
Well,
this was it.
She even said after loss, she was really upset about the loss, and she said, it was my elimination to win.
Yes.
It was absolutely the definition of catered to her and the opposite to Emmy, and Emmy still won. Like, it was so catered to Big T enough that I legitimately had and still do have suspicions because, Jake keeps asking, why does Big T keep getting called back? Because she's not good at the show. Who keeps bringing her back? I still have my suspicions that someone in production likes Big T so much and wants her on this show so much. Not only did she get eliminated once in this show, but she immediately got brought back into the house.
I think that one's happenstance, to be honest. Just because
I am so suspicious, and like MTV would have to tell me themselves that this is not the case. But I am extremely suspicious that they made this elimination for her once they found out she was going in.
It is odd that it lines up to the 2 things she says she's really good at, but
I'm incredibly suspicious. MTV will have to contact me directly and tell me it's not so for me to believe it's not so.
Yeah, well, it didn't matter. At
Yeah.
the end
No.
of
I mean,
It
that's the
didn't
thing.
matter. She still lost it to the person who was at the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Who's not as good of a swimmer and who has been vocal about not being good at puzzles.
Yeah, and again, and she still won. And honestly, had to redo her whole board at one time. Like, she had all the stuff
Yeah.
on there, and then she, like, froze up, and CT's like, just clear it off. Like, let's just redo it. And so, Emmy, like, there's nothing, she's 4-0. Like, it's just, like,
She said the challenge is her best friend forever.
she also, like, CT's like, not CT, TJ was like, you killed it. You gotta, you're 4-0, you're doing so good, you gotta make your choice. As she said, well, thank you so much for these beautiful words, Mr. TJ.
She did.
And I was like, that's really funny that she had to preface that before she made her decision.
But also, she's like, obviously, I'm going back
Yeah.
to my team.
I was just like, thank you so much for these beautiful words, Mr. TJ. And
I don't know.
I love
I
it.
don't know
I
either.
love it
For all these
so
people
much.
that were crazy about CT that, can't stand Emmy, I'm not, there's probably a lot of them that are both of those.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think
But you
she's one of the most entertaining people we've had in a
I
while.
thought about this, you guys. I thought about this earlier in the week. I feel like us three here, are kind of outliers in the challenge community.
I agree with
I
that.
don't feel like we really fit in.
I have felt
if
like
you
that the
will.
whole time.
So I feel like it's just kind of in general, we're going to have pretty differing opinions across the board.
From the majority of the
From the
challenge
majority,
community.
yeah. And that's not to say it's right or wrong. That's just,
but
It's
Amy's,
just different. We have different opinions.
but Amy's great casting.
it's great.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so great.
It's great. It's top notch. Like
I love it so much.
They struck a gold mine with her.
I agree.
They just
like,
did, because not only did you get such a captivating personality, she's good.
yeah.
and she's
She's
good.
passionate. Like
she wants to win.
she wants to win. And
Yeah.
whereas you have, not to hammer on her too much, but someone like Big T who, Logan earlier in the episode was like, you don't try.
Yeah.
You just don't do what it takes to win.
And then
Yeah.
like going, Logan's a good competitor, kind of boring to watch.
Yeah.
Casey's a great competitor. You forget she's on the show half the time.
Several times
Like that,
we've forgotten about
that's
her.
the thing. And so like Amy is like checking a lot of the boxes,
You do not forget she's on this show.
and it's
And she's 4-0 in eliminations.
and like she doesn't get involved in like just dumb unnecessary now she cries like she flips on the opposite ends of emotion, but it's just like
She's
it's
not getting
all-
in fights.
Yeah.
She's not getting drunk.
it's never like the crying and like the fits and stuff it's always contained.
Yeah.
If you will. Right?
it's like, oh, I'm having an outburst because I'm so excited about what happened. Okay, let's
Yeah.
bring it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's she like she'll cry for about 5 seconds and then she flips the switch and she's done.
I think far and away she's one of the best new casts in years,
Yeah.
and just for competitive, fun to watch, someone you're going to remember, and legitimately
Good.
at the game.
it's a different personality type, but is it fair to say that she's close to being like a female Turbo?
I
I could see that.
It's-
Right? Now Turbo had a lot more hype, right?
Yes.
People knew who Turbo,
Turbo was also like people like
Kind of a
have
crazy
said
person.
since he's left, like, oh, he was like legitimately crazy.
Yeah.
Like he was going to try to murder someone on the show.
Yeah.
But they are both from like Survivor spin-offs, and they're foreign. Like I don't think she won her season.
No, she didn't.
Turbo
she,
won.
She came in like 3rd or 4th place. I
Turbo
think.
came in like an assassin. He like that first day he was like in the back, like only watching the people, and like he's
Freaking
like,
everybody out.
Oh, this is my job. I'm going to do my job well, and I'm going to beat everyone. And then he's like, oh, you're getting in my way. I'll kill you. And then she's just like, guys, I just, it's just such beautiful words. And Mr. TJ and Uncle CT are my best friends. And the challenge is my best friend, even though it's not a real thing.
And I love to be here.
Yeah, and I'll die if I have to, but I'm doing this for my grandma. She's up in the sky. And it's just like,
And for my mother and for Romania.
it's just like, it's such a home run to me.
Yeah.
Like,
She is like Turbo but wholesome.
again, it's like if you took like the competitive side of Turbo and like mixed it with like a Red Bull and Faygo, and it's just like, here's Amy now, and she just is
In like a 7-year-old's mind.
yeah. But I love it.
I love it so much. I really do. And like there was even an instance in the middle of this elimination because like they're swimming through ice water and it's already cold outside. Where Zach, you and I looked at each other and we're like, I really fully believe she legitimately would let herself die.
I think she'd have to be carried out of there before she quit. But yeah, anyway, she stays on Sapphire, and what we don't know what happens this season. This is all hypothetical.
No. We're not spoilers.
If Sapphire ends up riding this whole thing out, and someone from Sapphire, I don't know if it's an individual win or if it's a team win in the final or what. If Sapphire or someone from Sapphire wins, what a squandered opportunity from Emerald.
And if...
Yeah, absolutely.
CT would obviously win, right? But he carries another rookie to a win 2 seasons in a row. I think if CT wins this season...
You can say he's possibly...
I think he surpasses Bananas.
I think he could. Back-to-back wins with rookies. I mean, if that's the case. And
I think Emmy's the better rookie to take.
Now, Amber probably has better endurance for sure.
Yeah.
If it's just running, but that's all she did.
But that's all he needed her to do.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, just go. I got everything else.
And they killed him.
Yeah.
They killed everybody.
Even
took a wrong turn.
And still
killed everybody.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. I think, like, if CT, Emmy, Kyle, any of the, like, Sapphire team wins, or the team as a whole, if it comes to a final where it's team versus team or whatever and not individual, like,
that's on Emerald.
What a sad show from Emerald, because they had the numbers the entire time. And so, and against all odds, Emmy keeps coming back to them instead of Emerald, and
she doesn't want to go there.
No, she is ready to die for CT and do whatever he says.
I know, like I fully believe it.
So let's get superlatives for this episode. Who smashed heads?
Emmy.
That's the go-to one, right? But
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Logan for just outright telling Big T, "You're not doing what it takes to win."
Yeah.
So,
Boy, and told her to put 6 donuts in her pocket.
Yeah, he called out her donuts. Yeah. Donuts make you go nuts. Donuts are good.
I love
I love donuts.
I think donuts might be one of my favorite. Like,
I've got a
desserts.
really bad sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I do too.
And we had some in the back at church a couple Sundays ago, and I had 3 without even thinking. Like I
don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
I know what he's talking about.
I just ate 3, and I realized about halfway through the third one, I've had 3 donuts, man.
They're just so good.
They're good. They're so
It's hard
good.
to make a bad donut.
Man, they slide down your gullet so easy.
Even
you don't even know
generic,
you've
like,
eaten
great
them.
value.
That's what I'm telling you. Like,
it's still good.
The
Don't even like
Walmart,
'em.
the Walmart
They're
brand
too
with just
dry.
like but you get the ones with the chocolate ganache like on them. It's just good.
Yeah.
If that was pop culture, I might pick that for the thing.
Donuts.
Yeah, just donuts.
Donuts in general.
I'm gonna give it to Emmy. Not only 4-0 in eliminations. We just raved about her forever. She said she's gonna crack bones and smash heads.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, she called us out on the main
She's our
show.
namesake, yeah.
So that's my pick. Who got their head smashed? I think this might be unanimous.
Big T.
Big T.
Big T.
1, in the daily, she ran into the wrong car, and 2, she lost an elimination that was made for her.
I don't think we even need to give specifics at this point. Like, it's just so obvious. It's
Just the entire episode.
she got sent home twice in a row.
Things that were said to her face, and things that were said about her in the confessionals. From beginning to end of this episode.
Is it fair to say that we were right on Big T and everybody else that stands so hard for her was wrong?
I mean,
if you even watch this episode, again,
I think it's hard for people on the show because they do see, like, again, it's like you see and you're like, oh, I kind of feel bad, like, because like, oh, you're not on the same level. It's like if you were like in the NBA and you showed up at like a middle school game, and like, or no, the other way around, like
a middle schooler
showed up to play like for a team,
or even the G League.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, come on, okay, buddy, let's go, and it's just like, nah. Two eliminations in a row. Literally, no one wanted them on her. wanted her on their team,
and they were vocal about it.
it's her 100%. So,
but here's the thing. I wish her all the luck in culinary school. I can't wait to see her on TV, on MasterChef and The Top Chef.
I'll be fine if I don't see her.
I will guarantee you she will never be on either one of them.
Okay, well, I really want to know what else she's going to learn in culinary school.
Great British Bake Off, maybe.
Well,
I love food.
In her 4-season career, War of the Worlds 2, Total Madness, Double Agent, Spies, Lies, and Allies, she has 3 daily wins and was 1-4 in eliminations.
And a handful of those were team format.
CT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's got 2 daily wins with CT, I think.
That's what I'm
saying. Off the
saying.
top of my head.
So...
What did you ask me? Pop culture?
Pop culture.
My pop culture person of the week is John Morant, and we got his Who Says Nike commercial in the middle of this episode.
Oh, wow,
Says
you
who?
got it
Says
wrong.
who? Says who? I didn't look down. I had it written down.
This doesn't have anything to do with...
Says who?
This is funny. Is the Grizzlies, the last game we watched, there's a game currently happening, but the last game we watched was against the Raptors. And Yuta Watanabe,
I love Yuta.
he's a Japanese-born player. He was on the Grizzlies for a little bit. He's on the Toronto Raptors now.
He's so nice.
He is. I mean, he's a great guy, but it's just the timing didn't work out with the Grizzlies after 2 years. And so he's on another team. And I was like, hey, look who it is. Like, it's Yuta. And she's like, oh, he's doing really good. She said, oh, he's been doing really good this year. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't watch the Raptors. And then the play-by-play guy's like, this is his first appearance of the year. He's been out with a leg injury. And I was like, what are you talking about?
And you find a way to prove it every week. This reality you live in. Is just...
All the seasons,
she's like, he's been playing really good.
This season and last season run together for me because I follow him on Instagram, and he's been posting stuff.
I genuinely didn't know.
Like, he's been posting on, like, his stories. And so, like, that's how I keep up with him. And I'd been seeing him, like, doing really well in, like, practices and, like, highlights. And I was like, oh, he's been playing great. I'm so excited about that.
It's his first minutes of the year. And I was like, what are you talking about?
And I was like, what? He said he's been doing well.
Yeah. So that was good.
It's okay.
What's your pop culture thing of the week?
So I actually watched, we're all big Marvel fans here.
Yeah, we are.
I had a new Marvel watch last night. Shang-Chi.
Oh, the new one?
And the Legend of the Ten Rings.
I wanted to go see that.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Han, I feel like you would really like that just for the
because
culture
I'm
aspect.
Asian?
Well, I mean, just in general, like I was thinking about your mom too, Zach.
Yeah.
I feel like she would really like it.
My mom does not watch any Marvel stuff.
Doesn't like violence
and
or anything.
she went and watched Black Panther with us for that reason. Because, like, again, my family's from Africa. Like, my grandparents lived there multiple times. My dad was born and raised there. And, like, I've been to Kenya 4 times. My mom's been, 11, 12 times. And so she wanted to see, like, the African culture and all that. But she loves that type of stuff.
She would love this movie.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of Asian culture in there. And
I love my
it's just a fun
culture.
movie.
Yeah.
It's just a really fun movie. Like, I don't know anything about this guy. Like, but...
It's really funny that the main actor, I can't remember his name, before he was famous, he was a stock photo guy. Like, he was a model in stock photos.
There's a big
And
running joke about it.
Like, he uses himself in, like, stock pictures as, like, memes for people. Like, when they say stuff, he'll just, like, post him in, like, office attire, like, looking at paperwork and
or
stuff.
construction worker stuff. It's really funny.
neat.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
Like, that's just how he got his start, was doing that type of stuff, apparently.
Look at him now. He's in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. And he killed it, man. That's a great movie.
You haven't seen The
Okay.
Eternals yet, have
We'll
you?
need to
I have
watch
not.
it
I haven't
then.
either.
From what I hear, it's incredibly boring.
Well, what I've heard is it's like they just tried to do too much because it was like you're introducing like 11 new characters in like a small amount of time. I'm still holding out hope for it because I love Kumail, love Selma Hayek, and
For different reasons.
A big revelation I discovered this week was that you guys actually have not watched the last two Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Any of the
Tom Holland
Spider-Man movies. And,
I've not watched any of them.
That's what you just said.
This is going to be one of the biggest Marvel movies.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it just is.
Spider-Man?
Yes. The new one that's coming out next month.
Yeah, it's got
I didn't know it was coming out next
all.
month.
It's got all the previews.
I mean, it's bringing back
it's bringing back
all
Alfred
the Spider-Man.
Alfred
Tobey
Mil-
Maguire.
for sure.
What?
Andrew
For
Garfield.
sure.
What?
Tobey Maguire.
They're going to be in
okay.
it. They're going to
I
be.
It's
have-
not. It's not confirmed. That's what most people think.
They're going to be in it.
I didn't even watch the Andrew Garfield ones because I am a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man
People are even
girl.
excited about him too.
Alfred Molina, who is Doc Ock back
Yeah.
when
Yep.
I know the
he's
thing.
in
Green
new
Goblin's
one.
in it.
Green Goblin's in it. Is Jamie
what is it, William
Jamie-
Dafoe? Willem Dafoe?
Yeah,
Is James Franco?
I doubt it because he's had some weird legal
Jamie
things.
Foxx is back in it
Jamie
as
Foxx is
Electro.
back. Yeah.
Wow.
He's back in it. Sandman's in it. I don't know if it's the
is
same
Rhino
guy.
in it, or was that a different one?
Maybe, but there's this shot in one of the trailers where Spider-Man Tom Holland is like lunging towards Sandman, Electro,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Was it Vulture?
Lizard's in it.
Lizard.
And if you look, Lizard and Electro are not coming at him. They're going at two figures that are not in the shot. So they like edited them out of that trailer.
There was
the other
Because it's-
Spider-Man, yeah.
Oh.
there was also rumors that Charlie Cox from Daredevil was supposed to be in this.
That's a rumor too.
yeah.
I freaking love Charlie
Y'all-
Cox
I'm
as
telling
Daredevil.
Y'all have to watch
I know.
the first
Okay.
two Spider-Man.
This
I'd
is-
watch
this
them with
is-
you.
And like,
what happened?
Like,
we went to
I
watch
like Tom Holland, but this is really. I just haven't because I'm a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man girl.
Well,
I just
went,
can't do
we
it.
went to watch them not long ago, and they weren't available on any of the streaming stuff. Or at least the first one wasn't.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, the Tom Holland one.
They're on Disney Plus.
They weren't. Maybe when I mean that made me when Disney Plus first launched because I went. I was like, oh, we got it. Let's watch them.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't there, and I was like, well, we got to rent it. Like, well, let's wait. And
Dude, I'd go down there and watch it with y'all tonight.
you gotta find a dog.
Okay.
He's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to wait until after
He's gonna have to wait
Spider-Man's
until the
over.
morning. Like, dude, I've already been out there for like 2 hours.
Well, what I was gonna say is, apparently Willem Dafoe on set had like a big hood up and like a cloak on because he didn't want people to know. Tom Holland didn't even know he was there, and then he like just took it off and they're like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
How freaking think about
yeah.
that. How freaking cool is that
Whoa.
gonna be?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I
you
grew
sold
up on
me.
Tobey Maguire as a
I
Spider-Man.
did too.
I was like 12 when that movie came
And
out.
see-
That's
Biscuit.
that's why I never watched the Andrew Garfield ones, and part of why, even though I really like Tom Holland, I never watched them.
Andrew Garfield was not the problem with those movies.
He just
I thought he was a decent Spider-Man, but he was not the problem.
Who was it? Emma Stone or the director?
It was the
Writing?
tone of the movies. It
that
was
was when
the
it was still
writing.
Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
The second one in particular was bad because you tried to introduce like 5 villains and you just
was
Too
the
much.
Eternals problem. They're introducing
Yeah.
too many people. But anyway, mine for the week is gonna be you know what? It was actually it's not really pop culture, but I was gonna pick Dunable guitars just because they're my favorite guitar brand, and I have 2 of them. And just if you play guitar, check them out. Dunable guitars.
I do love that guitar.
They're great. They play better than any guitar I've ever played.
Yeah.
And other than that, since we got talking about it, because you brought up gasoline,
Is gelatinous.
Memphis, Kansas Breeze, which is 2 guys that were on Comedy Bang Bang podcast. It's Carl Tart and Drew Tarver, and they just pretended to be a fake country band, and they sang songs
And they're so good.
about trucks and stuff, and it's awesome, and they're so catchy. And there's stuff on YouTube. If you just type Memphis, Kansas Breeze, Comedy Bang Bang, you can find them. And,
Please, if you never do anything for the rest of your life, please, for the love of God, I am begging you, look up Memphis, Kansas Breeze. It's changed my
I
life.
might play it after the fantasy stuff, and you can listen to it. Let's go ahead and actually get into the fantasy stuff.
Okay. All right. Y'all ready?
Well, you gotta.
Oh
preface
wow,
it.
yeah. So this is you want to build muscle?
P3.
Not.
Thank you to our sponsor.
Not
Super Soaker sponsors.
which is the All Stars.
All Stars.
Yeah. Okay.
CT quacked like a duck when he walked in. 5 points. Did y'all miss that?
I did. Yeah.
He went quack.
Okay.
Just like that.
He did.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna give 10 points to Emmanuel for the quote. Are you a chicken? He thinks Kyle's a chicken.
Yeah.
-5 to Kyle. To Devin's knowledge, Josh never lied. 10 points to Josh.
From the
From the
grave.
grave.
From the grave. We're big believers in not lying.
But to be fair, he did lie.
Well, to Devin's knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm going to give 10 points to Kyle because during his and Devin's conversation, he said, "Look at my sapphire body."
Don't remember that. Oh, hold on a second. I got to plug in my computer. We're recording.
Oh, God. Yeah. Please. Hurry up.
Don't lose it.
God.
Don't lose it.
I'm not going to lose anything.
Oh, did we just lose the feed?
No. I just had to
The
plug it in.
live feed, we're streaming.
Yeah, no, I've been doing a lot of guitar repair work, and I had to have something else plugged in, and I forgot I unplugged my laptop.
CT doesn't know how he feels about it. This whole Kyle thing. -5 to CT. According to Emmy, Sapphire's going to go to hell. -10 to all of Sapphire. That's Emmy, CT, and Kyle.
None on my team.
Yeah. In case y'all didn't know, going to hell ain't a good thing.
It's not. It's awful hot.
Burn for eternity. We get. Hey, you know what? Give 15 to the remaining cast for Boat Day.
It's just everyone.
Everybody, because that's fun, right? Come on,
Yeah, right. Come on.
Emmy.
Yeah, I got it.
Not Josh, even though he has
I
points.
didn't give Josh points. I've already skipped over him. You know what? Honestly, this is probably gonna be like Nani and Casey's only
It
score of the
probably
day.
is.
Yeah.
So thanks, because they're the only ones other than Nelson that are on my team. But it's gonna even out because everyone got 15.
Yeah.
So this is basically stupid.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna give 5 points to Emmy and Tori for twerking. Everybody likes a good twerk
When they do that?
on the boat.
They did it
Oh,
on the boat.
Yeah.
Tori. Don't forget my points.
Yeah, Tori.
Yeah,
We're
I know.
gonna give 10 points to Emmy for trying to play peacemaker between CT and Kyle. 5 points for the quote. The peace has to be made. Tori said to Devin, "You're about to lose a friend." -5 to Devin. 10 points for their spat though. Devin and Tori. I'm gonna give 5 points to Tori because her sweater said, "You're lost, babe." I liked it. Kind of like that.
It was a good point she made.
Logan said to Big T, "If you hate losing, then prepare not to lose, and you're not doing that, so you can't complain." 10 to Logan, -10 to Big T.
Let's go.
Let's see. Also, she sticks donuts in her pockets. I'm gonna give her 5 points because donuts are good.
They're a good pocket snack.
So,
I'd argue they're not a good pocket snack, but they are good.
Amanda at one point did this. She did the fake glasses. I'm gonna give her 5 points. Amanda.
Yeah.
She do the joggles.
Joggles, yeah.
She wishes.
Casey didn't know that $1 million weighs 2,000 pounds. Now she knows. 5 points. CT explains it daily. -15. Han pointed that out earlier. Big T wants to let everybody know that they can run a final with her. -5 because that's shouldn't still be fighting that battle at this point. According to Emmy, Kyle and CT are two big stones. Two big strong stones. 10 points to CT and Kyle. CT. 5 points for Logan's bank account.
Okay.
Devin's endurance, -10. Kyle is a broken mirror, -10. Casey with the Magic Johnson logic. We have to move faster. We have to win. -10. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
He's always tweeting stuff like, you put the ball in the basket, you score more points.
Yeah, it's like if the Lakers win a game, or like if the Bulls beat the Lakers, they're like, you know what, the Bulls just scored more points tonight. It happens.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got it.
Big T in the wrong car, -10.
Where's she at? There we go.
She's embarrassed, -5. Feels like she's the weakest, -5. Tori has to ask her to help, -5 to Big T.
Oh.
Let's see. Nelson then asked her to get away, -5, or get out of the way, as Han corrected me. Per Amanda, Nelson's one of the strongest guys she's ever met. 10 points to Nelson. Emmanuel's impressed with Amanda. 5 points to Amanda. I'm going to give 15 points to Nelson for the rhyme. There's no time to waste. This is about to be a foot race.
That's a very loose rhyme.
He's spitting bars.
Yeah. Hey, it works, though. Emerald wins 25, 15, and 15.
So, Amanda.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Why'd you just say, oh, yeah?
That's a good little swig.
He got a sip of his drink and had to put into the mic, Oh, yeah.
Y'all remember that thing called drink?
No,
makes you
I remember
sleepy?
Surge.
Yeah, no, I remember Drink.
Drink.
It just had melatonin in it.
They still sell that?
Probably.
I need a drink.
That's
Logan and Tori. Nope, just Tori.
Nope.
Nope, not either of
neither
them.
of
Okay.
them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
That was 5 of them, right? You gave it to 5 of them.
Devin, Casey, Nani, Emmanuel, and Amanda.
Yeah, okay. Give them... My bad.
Oh, my God.
Give them an additional 5 because it was their 5th win.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the 5th win mean?
5 points.
Oh, okay. If they win the next daily for 6th win, is that going to be 6
It's got to be
points?
divisible by
It's
5.
got to be divisible by 5.
So they have to get to 10.
Did you give it to him?
Yes.
Okay. We get a Kyle booty shot, even though it's weird, 10 points. Happy birthday, Kyle, 15 points. Big T wants to throw herself in. We don't like that logic, negative 15. She's sick of being the weakest link, though. I'll give her 5 points. She wants to infiltrate Emerald, so go ahead and throw negative 5 to all of Emerald. Oh, my God. Hey, you volunteered for this.
I don't know if that's true. Oh, not Nelson.
Nani. Yeah, go back.
In case
You had it
I
on
know.
Nani.
And Devin. Give 5 points to Amanda for breaking the 4th wall.
She did.
She
Looked right at
did.
that camera.
We're going to give 10 points to Emmy for the quote, I will crack heads and smash bones. I'm sorry, crack bones and smash heads.
Yeah.
An additional 10 for referencing the pod, whether she meant to or not.
She still did it.
Okay. I mean, I thought that's
Smash
what the
heads.
That's 20
10 were for.
points. It's a 20-pointer, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
We're
Big,
that excited about it.
Big T's still trying to go down, negative 10. Everybody's coddling. Like, everybody went on a whole, hey, it's not personal.
Yeah.
Negative 10 to Big T. Devin's running back the personal stuff from last week. Negative 10. Nelson has insult sandwiches. 5 points. Negative 25 to Big T. She's compromised. But she's excited. 5 points. Also, at the end of that, Kyle called everybody the P word.
He did.
He did.
Negative 5 to everybody except
Oh
for
my
Kyle.
God. But like even like CT, who's on his team, who had
Yeah,
no effect to any of that. I thought.
Or I guess it was just the Emerald.
Yeah, it's
right?
just Emerald
Okay,
again, yeah.
yeah. No, you're right. My B.
I was like, they didn't have any influence on that situation.
A lot of Emerald scoring tonight.
Yeah.
Nani and Casey and Devin.
Group scoring. I got it. I've done it about 11 times already.
I like this quote from Emmy. I'm the weapon. 10 points. Emmy feels like no one cares about her though. Negative 5. Let's see. According to Tori, this elimination is made for Big T. 5 points to Big T. And she's a fish. 5 points. Emmy gets voted down. Negative 25. She's hurt. Negative 5. She also did a weird Spider-Man tiger hybrid like prowling thing.
yeah.
I thought it was kind of weird. Negative 5.
It was weird.
Yeah.
She was like, I've already done 4 other things.
Yeah. I actually forgot about it because I didn't make a note on it.
Her grandmother's in the sky. 5 points.
It's better than being in hell.
Burning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nelson on Big T. It's your time to go. Negative 5 to Big T. I'm gonna give Nelson negative points for that.
Well, you said Nelson, so I clicked down here to like be ready to give him something.
10 points to Big T and Emmy because they're polar bears, and we saw a polar bear not too long ago.
We did.
We did.
It was the best part of the zoo.
It was
Yeah.
huge.
Hold on. There we go.
CT wants to build Emmy's puzzle for her. We're gonna give Emmy 10 points for that, and 5 points to CT for the courtesy. Big T self-proclaimed puzzle queen. We'll give her 10 points for now.
I thought that would be negative.
Ooh. Yeah, because
Hey, for now. This all goes in sequential order.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Emmy feels like dying. Feels like she's dying. Negative 10. That can't be a good feeling. Big T thinks it's not nice for CT to cheer on Emmy. Negative 5 to Big T.
I'm about to break this stanza on negative points.
Per Tori, nobody wants Big T. Negative 15. Yeah, negative Big T is what I almost said.
negative Big T.
Hey, Nelson, weird. Nelson has his money on Big T, though. 5 points.
For her?
Yeah.
Well, that's
no,
just-
for him.
he got
no, for her. Yeah,
that should
for
be almost negative for him.
He called himself a Nelsicle.
Yep.
Negative 20.
He said there's in the stuff so cold, and then referred to himself as if he were in the water.
Yeah, negative 20.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that's bad. I
mean,
gave him 15 for the rhyme earlier.
the logic was bad because he had nothing to do with it.
Emmy wins 75. Big T loses negative 50. Big T may cross negative 200.
She's gonna be pretty down there. I don't know. I don't think it's quite that much, but
She took down the Puzzle Queen. 10 points for Emmy, negative 10 for Big T. Because the Puzzle Queen lost.
yeah,
It's an additional negative 10. Did you give it to her?
I did.
Emmy thanked the Lord. 10 points. The challenge is her best friend forever. 5 points. Her grandmother's proud of her. 5 points. She's excited. 5 points. Big T is still talking about proving herself. Negative 10. TJ simply said, "Well, Big T, you tried." Negative 5. Lost 2 eliminations in a row. Negative 20.
God.
TJ thinks that Emmy's a beast. 10 points.
Thank you so much for those beautiful words, Mr. TJ.
Yeah. Give her 5 points for that. According to Nelson, she's definitely Rookie of the Year. 5 points to Emmy. 10 points to CT because Emmy just wants to follow her uncle. And lastly, Amanda ended on this great quote. "I guarantee a guy's going home soon."
Oh my god.
More Magic Johnson logic. Negative 10.
It's the guy's elimination day next.
Anyway, another shout out to our sponsor for the week. You want to build muscle?
P3.
Y'all take a quick break. And we are back one last time. One strong, powerful shout out to our sponsor. You want to build muscle?
P3.
Very, very close, very even scoring, very balanced scoring this week.
Wow.
Wow, okay, Jake.
Yeah, even with like all, you'll see what I mean. So CT ended up with 15 points. Amanda ended up with 70. This got to be her high for the season.
Wow.
Maybe.
Josh from the grave got 10. Emmanuel with 75. Emmy with 160.
Oh, yeah.
But then Big T with a negative 160.
I figured she was close.
They just evened each other out completely.
Yeah. Is that the biggest negative?
That's the biggest negative. I think Bettina had like a negative 140 one time. So that's definitely the biggest negative. So for the week, Jake, you ended with 170.
So her and Emmy just canceled each other out.
100%. Like
okay.
160 and negative 160. Nelson got 25. Nani got 65 and Casey got 60. So for the week, I had 150. And then Kyle had 35. Devin had 50. Logan had 30. And Tori had 35. So Hannah for the week had 150. So it was 170, 150, 150.
How about that?
So it was all very close. And so the standings didn't change at all because we all equaled basically the same thing. Jake's in first with 2680. Hannah's in second with 1785, and I'm in third with 1550. But definitely 160 might be the highest, but negative 160 is definitely the lowest for this time.
How many players does each team have left? Right?
Oh, let's see. I have 3, I know. Jake has, now with Big T being eliminated, you have 1, 2,
I have 4, right?
3, 4.
I got some strong ones too, man.
CT, Amanda, Emmanuel, and Emmy. Now 2 are rookies,
but they're good.
but yeah, they are pretty good. I have Nelson, Casey, and Nani, and Hannah has Kyle, Devin, Logan, and Tori.
So you have 3, and
I have
me
3,
and
and you
Hannah
guys both have 4. Yeah.
Okay.
And now I haven't had anyone go home in a while. Well, Ashley DQ'd. That's the thing. I had 3 of my top 5 DQ, and so that didn't work out well. But yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us have a chance to unseat you as the number 1. But there's a possibility I could slip into second place.
You think it's a wrap?
I think it's a wrap for that, unless the final is very heavily weighted to one person. If it's a one-person final, and like I just happen to have that person.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, but I think that part's over with. But patreon.com/SmashingHeads podcast is the place to get all of the exclusive things that we do, and smashingheadspodcast.com/store is where all of our new merch is, and follow us on social media at Smashing Heads on Twitter and at Smashing Heads Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
Have a good night, everyone.